Throughout the city, in front of the county courthouse, and along most busy streets, benches with ads sit near bus stops. But that soon could change because of a recent decision from Mayor Mary Verner.
If the city has its way, we have 223 benches in the city limits. They're to be removed.
Last year, city leaders declined to renew a contract with Emerald Outdoor Advertising that allowed the company to place the benches at bus stops in city right-of-way. Emerald, which also uses the name Sunset Advertising, was told in October that the signs must be removed. The city's decision will leave the responsibility for benches to the Spokane Transit Authority. Later this month, STA's board will consider spending almost $80,000 to buy and install 100 new benches.
It's an amenity that our customers have become very used to. So as a result of that, we have gone through a rather extensive and lengthy process of assessing what key locations are important as a bus bench is removed to have that bus bench replaced.
Emerald, however, is not giving up. This week, company employees began posting signs on the benches asking customers to call the city if they have any concerns about the planned removal of the seats. They question why the city would want to force STA into taking up the expense of providing and maintaining the benches, especially during a downturn in the economy. Sunset currently pays the city $10,000 a year for the right to advertise on the benches and covers the expenses of the program.
We pay the city, like I said, an annual fee for the right, and when we turn around, we do the maintenance on it. If there's graffiti on it, we go out and clean it. If it gets torn up, we clean up. If it gets hit by cars or something, we clean it up. We maintain it, from beginning to end. The city has no responsibility to it. There's no cost to the city. There's no cost to STA. We're just providing a service to the bus riding patrons.
City leaders say they pursued the ban on the advertising because the benches don't conform with sign regulations passed in 2001. That law says commercial signs aren't allowed off a business's property. Billboards were grandfathered in under the rule, but the city says bus benches weren't.
Folks interior to the city began looking at it and realizing that we were kind of inconsistent with our own sign code, where these bus benches were being placed in the right-of-way, and the city was receiving payment for them, and the city doesn't, we're not allowing private folks to put those up, so then we should try and be consistent with that.
I think enforcing any law, you need to enforce it fairly and across the board. As we talked about earlier, we've been in contact and in communication with the advertising companies. They knew it was coming. We waited over the winter because the snow was in the way. We also were working with STA to make sure that they had a transition plan. So they're getting ready to go, and it's time now to enforce the law. It's almost an 8-year-old law now.
Emerald Advertising argues that the decision hurts not only bus riders, but small business.
So it's going to have a huge financial impact. We're a small business, and quite frankly, our benches are geared towards small businesses themselves to advertise on. So not only does it affect Sunset, it's going to affect a lot of small-time advertisers who depend on us.
Although the change comes with a price, STA officials say the new responsibility will help STA ensure that the benches are maintained.
This gives us the opportunity to be in the driver's seat, so to speak, as far as not only the placing of them, but the maintenance of them.
Less than half the benches in the city of Spokane will be replaced after the old seats are removed. Bus benches outside city limits and in Spokane Valley won't be affected. And
our first wave will be the first 100. But as we assess the program and assess other stops, the assumption is that we will continue, as resources allow, to replace other bus benches.
This is Jonathan Brunt for Spokesman.com.